It looks like time runs differently in the Shadowlands than in Azeroth. Maybe that's why Uther, Kael'thas, and other characters have been there for ages when it has been just a few years in Azeroth. How does time go by in Shadowlands, and what does that mean for our characters?
Um, the answer is complicated. It's not like some science fiction movies where in a black hole or something, time just moves faster.
Yeah.
But time is different in the Shadowlands. Time is a construct of order and structure, and things in the Shadowlands are more chaotic in a lot of ways. Think about how time moves in a dream to some extent, where there isn't necessarily a fixed amount of time and things can bounce around. So the souls that have been in the Shadowlands, to them, it might feel like they've been here for a very, very long time as they've gone on their own personal journeys of discovery and evolution. But it's not necessarily a 3x faster, 10x faster. Time is different. And what does that mean for our characters? Well, that's something that we'll have to see as we come out the other end of this experience.
Time. Can it save the ending of BFA? I know that when the ending of BFA came, we all got to see the climax in the Zoth story. Most of us probably responded somewhat like this.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
However, in a recent interview with Ian Hazzikostas by Wild Chakra, i.e. the clip that I played at the beginning of the video, it's clear that there is room in the lore to fix a dramatically undervalued character arc. What I want to do today is go back to the beginning of this expansion. Let's talk about N'Zoth.
For 1,000 years, bound beneath these waves, I have watched you. I have tasted your essence.
You?
It won't be long now. Your death is near. Only I can sustain you. Let go. Serve me.
You are nothing.
Nothing. I am a god. Before you walked this land, I ruled.
Magnificent.
What do you see here? Someone who might have bitten a bit more off than they could chew? Choosing Azshara, a woman who he knew would one day betray him. Exactly, he knew. Just as he knew that Xal'atath was the only blade that could harm him.
Hear me, God of the Deep. I have brought you the Opener, the bringer of truths, the torch that lights the way. Honor our bargain. Free me to find my own fate.
Go. But the blade must remain to serve my will.
A fair exchange. Shadows guide you, my dear friend. We will meet again. I am certain of it.
I have dreamed your destiny, mortal. The hour is close at hand. That which was sunken shall rise. All that was sleeping shall be awakened. Receive my gift and see all truth before you.
And so, he managed to get the blade into Sylvanas' hands. He knew Sylvanas would use it as a bargaining coin to maximize more deaths. She gave it to Nathanos, who then handed it over to Azshara, whose Azshara's master plan was to imprison the old god within the blade. After we released N'Zoth at the end of the Eternal Palace, where did the blade go? Oh, that's right. Conveniently, N'Zoth let Ashara keep it.
Impudent underling, you will address me as queen!
Insolence only prolongs your agony. You will break, or I will carve out your defiant tongue.
More likely, Zanesh. Azeroth's champions will be the ones to silence you! Release me! Only I possess the means of defeating N'Zoth!
We fulfilled our end of the bargain, Azara. Now honor yours.
Mind your tone, whelpling. A queen keeps her promises. Listen closely, as I will only say this once. For all his bluster, N'Zoth was ever the weakest of his kin. One vestige of their power yet remains that can be turned against him. I would have driven this blade into his foul heart myself, had you not disrupted my plans. No matter. Xal'atath is yours, mortals. Strike true. Should your first blow fail, you will not survive to attempt another. Now go and do what you will. I tire of intermediaries and heralds. The true throne of power beckons, and I intend to claim it.
Azara has a fondness for games. I will examine this dagger for signs of treachery. But for now, let us continue.
He allowed us to obtain it once again. He allowed a foolish and arrogant dragon to believe he could harm a god. And then, just like the dream that Ashara witnessed of the Black Empire when she first met N'Zoth, N'Zoth allowed us to believe that the beam had worked. It destroyed an old god. It vaporized all of Ny'alotha. He let us believe that we had won. Do you really believe that an old god, with all the forces he has at his disposal, wouldn't attack at points other than just the heart, Uldum, and Pandaria? He wanted us to think that he was worried. He wanted us to believe that we could win. But did we really win? I really hope we didn't. I don't want us to lose because I want to serve N'Zoth like some edgy teen playing WoW in his mom's basement while listening to death metal. No. I want us to lose because I really want N'Zoth's story to be more grandiose. He's smart. He's the smartest of all his brothers. This character is a god, deserves a proper expansion. The old gods themselves deserve an expansion completely on their own, utterly devoted to them and their character. With Shadowlands, Blizzard has opened up the possibility of retconning the entire ending of BFA. Time works differently. For all we know, at the end of Shadowlands, we could come out on the end with a light-forged and 100-year-old Anduin. It could be like the final fight that was spoken about in the comic book series they did recently in Legion. Or we could come out to what I expect, or realistically what I want to happen. Imagine for a second that we've won in Shadowlands. We've concluded the story, all story points wrapped up neatly, problem solved, no big deal. We finally are able to slip out of the Maw, out of the Shadowlands, and we are greeted with a literal old god terraformation of Azeroth. Azeroth has been altered. Ny'alotha has risen for real this time. The world has been taken over and both Orgrimmar and Stormwind have been irreversibly changed for the expansion to be completely under the domination of the old gods. We, the heroes, are met with the resistance. A small ragtag of Horde and Alliance leaders and loyalists who have finally been forced to work together in a more united effort to push back to the rise of the old gods, with races like humans and orcs being forced to take shelter with one another during these desperate times. Luckily, for the people of Azeroth, we've come back from the Shadowlands with our covenants in tandem, and we flood our world with a fresh, strong, and corruption-resistant army, ready to take on the old gods and all of their fully powered up glory. A man can dream. Thanks for watching this video, and please take a moment to leave a comment down below about this theory. If you have any theories of your own about what happens at the end of Shadowlands, feel free to leave it down below, and hopefully we can have a healthy discussion about the topic. Without further ado, guys, this has been Am, and I'll see you all in the next video.